Welcome back to another Wealth Wednesday. I am back for another episode. My name is Corey Phillips. I'm the founder and CEO of Social Storm LLC. We are back for another week. Um, we had we weren't able to do it yet last week, but I want to just let you all know that we just had a lot of stuff going on, and that we're going to continue to share this message to people within the community. Make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow me on all platforms at Corey Phillips 3. Share this to your friends and family, and then continue to use this information to share it. Use this information for informational purposes only before you make any investment decisions. Continue to just utilize this information to build this thing up. So share this out. I'm going to share this to different people right now. Give me 1 second, and we'll get straight into this episode. Okay. So yeah, again, a little bit if you don't know who I am right now, just continue. And I'm currently a 22-year-old college student, and I teach financial literacy to youth across America. I just featured on Black Enterprise. I work with Mayor of Chicago, done over 2,000 events teaching young people about investing financial literacy. I started when I was 16 years old, and I want to share this information that young people can understand that's also engaging and exciting. So please get back to this video, and we'll get straight to it. Okay. So yeah, for today's subject, I'm just gonna be talking a lot of different things that's happening right now in the markets and the economy, and there's a lot of things that has been affected. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on. You see a lot of different things that's currently happening, and how we can just change our mindset of how we view money, because a lot of things that we see is not just based off how much money you have, but it's really a mindset. So how can we shift our mindset in a way for we can think from being in a way of just thinking in poverty, but thinking about how we can have abundance? And that's something that we can just continue to transform by sharing this information, so that we can be able to educate our families and then just change our communities. Um, so my main thing is just understanding that this whole entire artificial intelligence wave is just shifting the way we see the world, the way we shift our economies, and it's changing fast with different interest rates, with inflation, AI, housing market. All that's impacting how the world and how we build it wealth today. But the truth is, your mindset is what controls the money, and matters just as much as the market itself. And right now, look at inflation and interest rates. Inflation is sitting around 2.7%, better than last year, but it's still quietly eating away your money. So each and every dollar that you're using is getting less and less purchasing power as it is yesterday. So the time value of money, your dollar worth tomorrow is worth less than a dollar worth today. So you want to be able to understand that they're continuing to lower interest rates, which means cheaper loans and smaller savings returns. But if you got high interest debt, you want to be able to pay that off and be able to refinance or pay it down. If you're saving, I'll be able to look for accounts like high yield savings accounts, or HSA, or investments that can outpace inflation, because it's so important for us to make our money work for us. Because if you're just sitting in cash, then your money is just going to get eaten away with inflation. Today's economy is still staying strong, but growth has continued to cool off a little bit. Job creation is slowing, and manufacturing is tightening. But being resilience doesn't mean invincible, but it's important for us to look at the upside of the markets, but we don't look a lot into be able to protect ourselves. So you see a lot of different assets like gold and silver have been traditionally gone up in times of economic uncertainty, as you see a lot of these companies at all-time highs. We saw gold actually drop about $1,000 in one day this past week, which was the biggest one-day drop that we've seen in a while. So it's some for us to understand that this is something, as we see a lot of economic uncertainty, that these markets in different areas can see a lot of volatility. There's a lot of rise in global debt, and there's a lot of new trade tensions, like talk of universal tariffs can push prices higher and also slow business growth. But it's important to diversify in your income streams, different side hustles, freelancing, and different business ideas. It's important that you do to have multiple streams of income in this new economy. You can't just rely on just your job to have provided for you or just have your retirement. You need to be able to have that, which is most important. Like now is so in the most important times to be able to utilize your own personal brand, use your own personal skill set to be able to utilize something, because that's the most important. You have your own unique skill set that people can provide and provide value to others. And that's the most important thing when you're in the marketplace. This world of automation, this world of data and big business, is important for you to use things that can stand out that these different things don't have. They don't have your own personal story. They don't have your own personal experiences. They don't have your own personal touch that we need in this age of automation. We need more people that have information in ways that people can be able to connect with other people, because that's something that truly people are craving with social media and things, that people really want to be able to more connected with others. And in looking at like a lot of the role of AI in work, is that it's not just tech talk, it's actually changing careers, investing in business models. So you look at Amazon. Amazon is projected at 70% of the workforce already in robots. So it's something that they're investing into the future. So it's not, don't fear AI, but be able to leverage it. You'll be able to make your life more efficient, be able to embrace it. The people who did not take advantage of the internet are people that went out of business or got left behind because they didn't take advantage of the opportunity of utilizing the internet. And don't be that person with artificial intelligence that can replace millions and millions of jobs just in the next 5 to 7 years. So if you're someone who does not use AI, you have to go and learn it if you want to be employed. It's not just going to affect people in lower positions, it's going to affect people in all positions, because it's something that is, you just learn how to use it, be able to help you leverage it to make things better. Learn how to prompt, learn how to use systems, make automation so that you can be able to make your own different decisions in different careers. Um, I use it all the time to be able to help me do research, for me to confirm my information, for me to just be able to analyze things better, make it easy for me to digest and easy for us to automate things such as my content creation, use that such as my research, use that as a strategic business plans, create this organization, AI agents, building your website, all that type of stuff. If you're not using artificial intelligence, you will get left behind. AI doesn't lose jobs. It's people who don't know how to use AI who will lose their jobs. So it's very important to utilize that to promote yourself and build systems. You see a lot of market volatility. The stock market is still on a bull run. I believe that it will continue to be bullish the rest of the year, but we want to understand that leadership is spreading beyond big tech. Be able to stay diversified. And area dips, your portfolio can still stand strong. Don't have all your eggs in one basket. It's important for us to not just be in one avenue, but be in multiple avenues, so that we can be able to use that towards different areas so that we can be up regardless of which markets are up or down. We talk about home prices. Home prices are still high, but the inventory is very low, which is continuing. Low affordability is a struggle. If rates drops, that's actually good news. But remember that cheaper mortgage rates don't fix a high price. Patience and preparation wins. So a lot of people think that it's actually easier to get properties when the interest rate's lower, but it's actually harder because there's a lot more competition. People don't realize that if you get a property now, I mean, you pay a higher interest rates, you can always refinance when it goes down because inventory is still low. So being able to understand what these different things your situation is and what your risk tolerance is, and be able to understand which things you can actually get into, so you can prepare yourself towards success. And just getting into just a little bit of mindset, just understand that you see all of these things that's happening around you. So all this is just noise. It's things that keep us in a mood where we are in survival mode, and we don't really know what's just happening there within our own mind and how we can use to shift that. Looking at this economy, we see a lot of things that are gloomy, but look at change your mindset from just being in scarcity mindset and shift it towards abundance. It's not about what I can't afford, but actually how can I afford it? If you can put yourself in a position so that you can be able to make more money, so you can put yourself in a position to actually thrive. That might be getting another job. Maybe it might be you being saving and budgeting. Focus on the opportunities, not the limits. But you believe you can create income, not just chase it. There's a lot of things that might be sacrificed. It takes a lot of sacrifice to get things that you want to do. That's something that's so important. That's why prioritize financial literacy. Financial literacy is no longer an option if you want to be successful in this next age, this new environment. Wealthy people make it a habit to keep learning, and taxes, credit, investing, and ownership. That's the true thing in this economy. This economy was built for home ownership and business. It wasn't built for people who typically just don't want to take a risk, unfortunately. It's built for people that built in the tax laws are built for real estate and business, favor of business owners. So might as well put yourself in a position to understand how you can be able to use that, because that's something that you're either building your own dream or you're building someone else's dream. And for me, I prefer to build my own dream. Not saying everyone's going to be a full-time entrepreneur and everyone's going to have that mindset of doing that, but understanding that you can put your life in your hands, but no one else's. You always can have to rely on other people, but put your life living on your terms. That's so important. Be budget and mindful of spending. Know inflow and outflow, and avoid lifestyle inflation. A lot of people are just using things to impress people they don't know, to people that don't like, and things that they don't need. So it's important for us to just cut out the things that we see to keep us consumers online, to put us in positions of where we struggle. These athletes, these entertainers, all these different people don't actually own these products, marketing us for us to go broke, trying to look and act like them. You see things like Louis Vuitton, it takes them $5, $10 to make a product and they sell for 500. They're using us. The majority of people that use these different luxury goods, the majority of people that you buy them are broke. And that's something that's important, that most people are going into poverty thinking they have in a wealth building mindset, but they're only buying liabilities. I want you to be able to just automate things and just shift your mindset. Pay yourself first. You are your biggest asset. Your mind, your time, that's the biggest asset that you can have. Just automatically put that into a position where it's no longer an option. Be able to discipline builds wealth, and it's not emotion. People build systems and structures that be able to create that environment so they can become successful. I want you to take calculated risk. I know every wealth builder takes a risk. Be smart. I want you to be able to research and be intentional. Be able to start your business, start your 401k, Roth IRA, buy a property, but always with a plan. Because a plan without action is plan without preparation. But plan without action is just a wish. It's something that's important. Be able to use debt wisely. Don't use debt to buy things that don't help you. They might be just expensive clothes, expensive cars, things like that. Use debt to be able to leverage that to buy more assets. What they don't teach you is that the ultra wealthy use debt to buy things, and they buy things, they borrow against it, pay themselves back, and continue to use that from there. Because people don't pay taxes on debt, or they don't pay taxes on debt, and they don't paying their loan back. So understanding that, use the leverage, use your house, use your assets, buy your stocks to leverage and buy more without having to sell them. That's the biggest thing that people understand, that that's what the wealthy ultimately do in this country. And plan long term. I want you to think in decades, not just paychecks. Wealth is just a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not just looking at just what happens on payday, but think of the bigger picture. These 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 can go tremendously over the horizon of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And I want you to understand that that's something that we all need to prioritize, that we think about just happening today, but we don't think and prepare for tomorrow. We think about what's happening on a rainy day, but we don't think about what's happening on a sunny day. We need to be able to transition ourselves into a position where we're in preparation and we're not in a moment of distress, when we're trying to figure out what's going to be our next day, but how can we project on those days where we can truly be successful, be wealthy. Play this as a mindset that's important for us to understand, that this is just a bigger picture of what we truly can become, and the truly bigger picture of where we can be down the line. Build up your emergency fund. 3 to 6 months or a year saved up, peace of mind. Security gives you freedom to take better risk. If you're always in a mood where you're taking survival mode, you don't know where your next paycheck is, you're always going to make different moods based off of maybe emotions or things like that. I want you to surround yourself with positivity. The people that you hang around, I know John O'Brien says if you're around nine broke people, you'll be the 10th. If you're around people who are constantly just looking at different actions, take advantage of people, constantly talk bad about people, constantly negative about life, then that's where you'll truly become. But if you're around people who are abundant, you have to be able to move up and move differently. Be around people that add to your cup. Don't take away from your cup. To be around people who's going to prepare you, people that's going to keep you accountable, people that's going to help you strive for greatness. That's truly going to give you a positive mindset that can make you way better throughout the long run. Energy is currency, spending on growth. So I want you to be able to understand that that's just really can affect and make or break your situation just by the people that you hang around. People who are going to be able to push you, people that's going to mentor you. I'm always one of the youngest people in the room, but I'm in those different spaces, but it puts me in a different perspective and where I could be people that who's already been in my shoes, that can be that person that can be able to be there. I want you to value time and health. Money is nothing without mental, spiritual, and physical health. You get all the way, get millions and billions of dollars, but if you don't have that right headspace, you don't have that good body, you don't have that good soul, then you really not going to enjoy that fruits of those seeds that you planted. You have to have that purpose in your life. You're going to have to be healthy. You cut out all the stuff that's going to cut that out. You still need to go and work out. You still need to be able to get your sleep. You still need to have your family, have your relationships. Because what's the point of having all that money if you don't have the things around you that truly matter? The thing is, true wealth is really in freedom. It's the ability to live your life on your own terms. It's not about the money. It's not about the fame. It's not about the things that come with it. It's truly about how you can spend your day. Instead of me trying to figure out what I am going to do, what I'm going to do next, is more about how I can truly spend my life to be more intentional. Whether it's to help more people, whether that's to be able to just have more impact in my community. If you are a bigger version of the more amount of money you have is just a bigger version of who you actually are. If you're someone who's always negative and not helping people, that's greedy, that's truly what you're going to be when you have more money. But if you're someone who's truly someone that's a character for the community, that's where you'll be down the line when you have money. So believing that you can have that wealth, you'll be way more charitable and more giving if that's truly who you are. And just being able to understand that just all these different things that's happening, it's just about your mindset. It's about how you can be able to redirect yourself into where you truly can become. When I started hanging myself around people who were thinking bigger, brighter, and stronger, that's the type of person I became. I had to put myself outside of different situations where people only thought you could only be so much or this or that. But being around people who can truly push me to become better. I mean, everything's not going to be easy, but it's being about waking up every day and being consistent, making that a priority. I'm prioritizing my investments. I'm prioritizing my relationship. I'm prioritizing my health. I'm prioritizing all these different things so that I can be in a better situation. When people are more worried about, like I mentioned, fighting over a block, I'm focused on owning the block. That's the most important thing, is if you don't have ownership, you'll always be a slave to the system. You'll always be looking for things to happen. But if you truly have ownership of everything in your life, then you can truly have ownership of where your future is going to go. And that's what I just want each and every one of you all. It means financial freedom is not about what type of career, it's not about all that type of thing, but understanding that's how you can leverage it and pass it on to your kids, and their kids can pass it on to their kids, because it's truly a mindset. They try to keep this out intentionally so people can never know how to actually navigate it, actually know what true freedom is. And just understand with different things that people can just use so they can use that, take their life to the next level. And it's just important for us to understand that everything's going to continue to change, but you can truly control how you can control yourself. You can truly just control how your attitude is for things. You can control how you surround yourself, how you can continue to learn. And you just continue to understand that those different things that you can learn about, learning about Bitcoin, learning about gold, learning about equities. And they're not just people that are just staying in one avenue and just not thinking that they learn everything. I want you to just be able to understand that, just take things and continue to use life and learn from it. And that's the most important thing. And I know for me, there'll be my short schedule. I know I had a little bit shorter than usual, but that will conclude that bigger thing. Just knowing each and every day, use this as a mindset, as a stepping stone for you to continue to build wealth. I want you just to be able to share this information for you all. We'll be back next week. Be able to share this information some more. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Corey Phillips 3. Make sure to like and subscribe. Share this to your friends and family. And then we'll continue to use this information to help build up our communities. So you all have a good rest of your evening. You all have a good night.